on Wednesday we studied multiplying powers together. You keep the base and you do what to your exponents? You add them. Very good. Yesterday we talked about dividing. You keep the base and you subtract the exponents. Today I puked on this paper and now we have both. So the biggest thing you have to remember is I have to be able to look at this problem and say, am I multiplying or am I dividing? And then follow the correct rule. So tell me something when you look at a problem that would tell you, oh, this problem means multiplication, or oh, this problem means division. Grady. Okay, you're going to have two things right next to each other. Nolan? Division is going to be written as a fraction. There's one other thing that might indicate multiplication. Very good, Aspen, the dots, okay? So if you got sets of parentheses or numbers right next to parentheses, as Grady stated, you probably are going to be, or not probably, you'll be multiplying. If it's set up as a fraction, like Nolan said, you're going to divide, and Aspen reminded us of those dots. So the first thing you should do, if we look at example A, is ask yourself, are we multiplying or dividing? Multiplying. I have two sets of parentheses right next to each other. So what we want to do is we want to put our coefficients, which reminder are numbers in front of the variable, together, and then we want to put our variables together. What coefficients, numbers in front of the variable, do I have in problem A? -6 and -1, right? Don't forget that negative really means -1. So we would put -1 times times -6 in a parenthesis. And then we would put x times x to the third. Now, your coefficients out front, you actually multiply those. We actually want to take -1 times -6. -1 times -6 is what? +6. Then I keep the base, which is x. What do I do to my exponents? Add them. What are my exponents? Good job, 1 and 3. So my final answer would be 6x to the 4th power. Nicely done. Go do B and C right now on your own. Forgive my typo here. I forgot the other parenthesis on that C. Sorry. All right, on B, I grouped my coefficients 3 and 2 out front, and then I grouped x squared and x to the 5th in my second one. So actually multiply 3 times 2 is 6. Keep my variable base of x. What do I do to my exponents? Add 2 plus 5. My final answer would be 6x to the 7th power. On C, -6 and -2 are my coefficients. Y squared and y to the 5th. -6 times -2. +12. Keep my base of y. Add 2 and 5. 12y to the 7th power. When you multiply, you're going to add. When you multiply, you're going to add. D, what indicates what we're doing here? The fraction bar tells me I am dividing. Now remember, really what we want to, instead of putting them in parentheses, we separate them into their own separate fractions. 16 and 4 are coefficients, the numbers out in front of the variable, and then our base x. So just like on the problem when we were multiplying, our coefficients, we actually want to divide them. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Keep your base of x. What do you do to your exponents? Subtract 3 minus 2. So your final answer is 4x to the first. Somebody said to me, Miss Hoff, do I have to have that 1 power, or can I just write 4x? You can just write 4x technically. If you just have the x, it means there's a 1 on there. I mislabeled these with letters. Do C and D, the last 2 in that row there. The middle one, we actually want to divide negative 48 divided by negative 8 is positive or negative? Positive 6. Keep your base of y. What do you do to your exponents? Subtract 3 minus 1. Final answer, 6y to the second power. 39 divided by 3, 13. First base, what am I subtracting? Second base, what am I subtracting? 5 minus 1. So I end up with 13x to the y to the... Ooh, they're both 4. Should I add those two together? Why not? Not the same base, not the same variables. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, I really want you guys to have nothing to take home today. So, silently right now, start on your homework. There are 16 questions on this. Work on your own. When I see that everybody is done, we'll correct it. And then if there's time remaining, we will go and play Kahoot. If you get done and others are still working, feel free to get other homework out, but I just ask that you do not visit. Cool? Rock and roll.